Hello! Are you excited to read today's book? It's called Johnny Appleseed, My Story, as told by David L. Harrison, illustrated by Mike Winokur. Someone is coming! Beth yelled. It was a lean, wiry man with pep in his step. Mama! Papa! Cried Will. It's Johnny! It was Johnny Appleseed. Papa stopped chopping wood. Johnny Appleseed is always welcome, Papa said. He always has a good tale to tell. Johnny smiled and waved hello. Mama invited him to stay for supper. Bess and Will were so excited. They jumped up and down. Tell us a story, they begged. John scratched his chin. His eyes were kind. Your children are growing like tree sprouts, he said. I'll tell you a story after I help your papa chop wood. Johnny was good with an axe. He chopped and chopped. At dinner, Johnny ate all he could. He told Mama, I walked 20 miles to get here. Your pie was worth every step. He winked at Bess and Will. Now for a story, he said. Bess and Will sat on the floor. They loved stories. Johnny began like this. My real name is John Chapman. I grew up in a big family. 10 kids. We're nosy and wriggly. Always barefoot, and we were as hungry as bear cubes in spring. To be myself, I would head for the woods. I knew the trees and rivers for miles. More and more the woods felt like home. After school, I worked to help my family. But when I was old enough, I set out on my own. I packed up my gun and my hatchet. I left Massachusetts, walking west on my bare feet. Soon I came to a cider mill. They were giving away the seeds from the apples. A poor boy never passes up anything free. I filled my pack with seeds. I grinned as if those seeds were gold. But I lost that grin in a storm in Pennsylvania. I was walking up in the mountains. All at once, the day turned as dark as night. The wind began to howl. It was bitter cold. Snow was soon up to my waist. If I did not do something, I would die. I made up my mind. No storm was going to be the end of me. I ripped strips from my coat to wrap my bare feet. Then I moved snowshoes from branches, and I walked right out of that storm. Walking gave me time to think. Folks were moving west. What would they need when they got there? Apples, out plants, and orchard. I got an axe and started clearing trees. Trunk, 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 I chopped. I made the wood chips fly. Soon my first seeds took roots and sprouts, so I set out west to find more land. I planted appleseed in Pennsylvania, Ohio, and Indiana. I sold sprouts to folks heading west in their wagons. I sold sprouts to settlers living in log cabins. One sprout cost 6.5 cents. Sometimes I trade sprouts for clothes or food. Some folks were too poor to trade. I gave them sprouts for free. I knew how it felt to be poor. Most folks do not know my real name. They just call me Johnny Appleseed. I still work hard taking care of my orchard. I sleep out under the stairs, and I will wear any old clothes or hats to keep me warm. Johnny held up his bare feet. "But I still do not like to wear shoes," he said. "Unless it is winter, I do not need them. My feet are dull." "Folks say your feet are as dull as elephant hide," said Beth. "So dull that a rattlesnake cannot bite through," said Will. Johnny laughed. "There are more stories about me that fleas on a dog. Folks say that I can leap over icy rivers or melt ice with my bare feet." Folks say I once met a band of men who wanted to find me. I talked them into a chopping contest instead. Of course I won, and I tricked those rascals into helping me clear land for a new orchard. Then there are bear stories. People say bears trust old Johnny Appleseed. Mama bear do not mind if I wrestle their cubs. Others say I sleep with bears to keep warm on winter nights. Ugh. Have you ever smelled a bear's breath? But one thing is for sure. I know a lot of Indians. Many are my friends. They have taught me their languages and how to hunt for food and how to make canoes out of hollow logs. Will yawned. Beth was half asleep. Johnny stood up. "Time for you to go to bed," he said, "and time for me to keep walking. There is always more planting to be done." Papa smiled at Johnny. "You look like a happy man," Papa said. Johnny smiled too. "I'm a happy man," he said. "I have spent my life raising apple tree sprouts. Now all across the land, folks are enjoying apples from my trees, and that makes me happy." Then Johnny's Appleseed waved goodbye. Thank you for listening. If you subscribe, you can hear more fun stories in the future.